Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. Today I'm going to go quickly and thoroughly go through one of the best ways to sort out this yellowing or faded sun damage headlights. And I just want to say, in no way is this well, it is only a band-aid fix. The sun wrecks everything. We're talking about your headlights here. Just because you've protected your headlights, if this system works, if you like it, it doesn't mean the rest of the vehicle's not being wrecked by the sun. So nothing will replace a carport or a garage. Our vehicles are not too bad because generally they get parked undercover most of the time, obviously except for when they're in use. This is the genuine Toyota headlight kit that we're going to use. Now I've thoroughly read through the instructions. It's obviously available for many different countries. We've got it upside down here, but you can see lots of different whatever, and we've got on the other side as well. Right, so in case you're interested, that's the general instructions for everyone, but the Aussies get get their own special one piece of paper. Well, the Aussies and the US, who else uses English? How about this, right? Everybody, I reckon everybody should learn English because, look, I don't really know, but I'm thinking in Australia and the US, it's probably two of the most multicultural countries, and we use English, so I reckon it'd be really easy if everybody learned English. There you go. A bit like everything should be metric. This, you know, this unmetric, all the unmetric stuff. I'm not interested. Just give us metric. Let's just keep it simple here. Kilometers, you know, kilometers. This metric system is so much easier than miles an hour, you know. Anyway, hope you like that. This is the headlight coating kit. I've read all the instructions. Let's just quickly look through some of these, and then I'm going to condense it down for you quickly. What's included in the kit and what you do and how it works, okay? So I've got a good understanding. I haven't done it yet. There's a few things you need that aren't in the kit, like this is what we get from Costco. I don't know why I always say my LD cloths, because it's Costco. You get a bag of 36 for about 20 bucks AUD, you know, Australian. So let's just quickly read instructions carefully. It basically says, you know, look, you need to do it neat so that you don't cause problems. It talks about not applying it, excessive amount of coating, apply consistently. We've got a 15-degree temperature, so it's not below 10. We are indoors anyway. We're out of the sun. The humidity isn't very low at the moment, where it's on the edge of raining, so probably perfect humidity. The surface isn't below 5 degrees, so we don't need to warm anything up, and we're not drying it in direct heat or cool air. It's just 15.5 degrees. Last time I looked at the thermometer, right? A bit cool. It's early in the morning at the moment. Sunday morning jobs, right? Sunday jobs. Do not use in rain, sunlight or dusty areas. That's right, we're not doing it. It's not windy, it's nice and calm. Everything should be clean. Don't use if your headlights come with headlight washers or wipers, probably because it's going to wear the coating off and leave it half done, I'm guessing. I'm just taking a guess there. Don't touch the headlight for 1 week until its curing is complete. Takes about half an hour to dry, but they don't want you to touch it for a week, so I don't know what that means, but anyway. Please read instructions. That's what we've done. So I've already written. What you should have is the masking tape. These are the things here. So you've got the masking tape. You've got the sanding pad, right? This sanding pad here, that's what you wrap your wet and dry in. We'll get that into a minute. Well, they call it sandpaper coarse. These are the coarse ones, the yellow ones, 2000. And this is the fine one, 6000. It's nice and soft. That's your finishing one. Okay, and then you've got your two liquids that we've got to mix together soon. And of course, these are to apply the coating after we've made the mix, right? So it basically goes through and says, wash it down. So you use water and a cloth. That's what we've done. We've already cleaned the vehicles, plus we've given it a good clean up with this, and water, rinsed it and dried it. See, it's not really going to worry about drying it, because what's going to happen soon is you're basically going to use water and the wet or dry, waterproof abrasive paper. There you go. That's what we'll call it. It's wet or dry, wet and dry. It's kind of like a brand, whatever, but you get what I mean. It's, right, it's, you know, waterproof. So we're going to actually try, this is meant for one vehicle. I still think I'm going to try and get 2 vehicles out of it. Let's get through. I'll get through the instructions. So you clean it first, clean it and dry it with this. So long as it's all clean, get all the bugs and crap and all that sort of thing off. Mainly you're going to be sanding the yellowed or the sun damaged parts, which is generally the top of the headlights. You can give the whole thing a light rub, but you don't need to go too heavy duty. And it is going to leave it looking cloudy, right? So quite obviously, because you're sanding it, and that's what's going to happen here. So don't be concerned about that, but don't go crazy on it either. Just do it nice and lightly. I haven't done this before, so I'm not the expert, but I'll tell you what, I can read instructions well, and because it's genuine, I reckon it's going to work really well. But stick around and we'll see. So wash it. Then they've got this masking tape, right? You can use that. The most time-consuming part of this job is probably going to be masking it up. Along the bottom, we don't need to worry about because we've got the ARB bull bar and there's a fair gap there. So we're going to mask along here because basically we don't want the coating. It's going to be like some sort of seal or coating, you know what I mean? You want to try not to get on the paintwork. So we're going to seal up. We're not going to worry too much about, you know, here because there's an edge there. As long as we're careful, if we can do that, we should be able to not touch the paintwork there. So... but because we've got that rubber, we don't want to get on the rubber either. So you know what, I'm going to mask it up to the edge of the plastic anyway, just because we can. So that's basically masking it up. Then what they talk about the polishing, rough polishing and finish polishing. So the rough polishing is using this. They want to get you to use one each headlight. I'm going to use one each car. If everything goes to plan. If I feel like it's not going to plan, I'll have a change of plans pretty quick. So sit tight so I can let you know whether there's enough here. And I'm going to explain to you why I think there'll be almost enough there to do 2 cars. As I said in another video, this cost me 44 bucks AUD. It's going to be probably about 60 or so for most people. I might do something for people that stick around. Here you go, for VIPs only. There you go, to be a VIP, you're obviously in Australia only. So if you're in Australia and you're going to buy a BFE kit, everybody's going to need a BFE kit sooner or later for their 1KD, right? Just to help you out so you can get it cheaper. As long as I can get stock of these and they're still 44 bucks. If you buy the BFE kit, that's $770 delivered to your door anywhere in Australia for any 1KD. For an extra 44 bucks, I'll put that in. So it saves you going to get it, whatever. Look, I haven't got these in stock, I'm telling you. So you're just going to need, if you order a BFE or you want one of these, or you might even order the BFE at 120, 130K or at 270, 280, 290. So you got it sitting there. It's not going to go stale. It's sitting there waiting to hit 150K or 300K. But anyway, I was just trying to help out, trying to think of a way that I can get that to you at the right price, free shipping sort of thing. Trade price, free shipping. So there you go, because I'd love to help out. Or I can have them in stock here, and if you happen to be here at the Prada Hospital for something, you can pick one up, mate, you know. Cashy, whatever, you know. You know, pay cash because we don't have an EFT machine, you know what I mean? It's all legit still, whatever, you know. Big business here. Okay, so polish. So basically first polishing, look, let's just read it. Wrap the paper around the sheet. You know, we talk about wrapping this around the big block, right? Don't be confused. These are for finishing off application. You know, around paper. Use sandpaper for one headlight. Wet surface, right? So we've got our bucket of water there because we want to do a wet job, right? So... we're going to paper one headlight and polish the yellow layer until the lens turns white. So basically you just want to get rid of that yellowing off the top, right? Once you're happy with it, in my case, I'm going to use one of those to do both of the top of the 120 headlights. And then we're going to have the other one saved for the Hilux. And what I might actually do is I'll do one at a time in case I haven't got enough fluid left. But the Hilux headlights are smaller, so if there's enough to cover really big headlights, surely, yeah, anyway, we'll get to that. So once you've done that, finish polishing. So that's this one, this nice soft one with a white backing, again, wrapped around that block there. You know, you finish off, wet the surface, polish the lens, blah, blah, blah. I'll keep it nice and wet. That's how I do it. I like things nice and wet and lubricated. Nothing worse than if you're using sandpaper and everything gets all dry and abrasive. You want it nice and slippery, you know what I mean? So yeah, give it a nice polish. Wash and dry. So, you know, once you've done that, you're going to have all that stuff you polish off. So, again, clean it. Use your, you know, what did I say? I always say Aldi. It's not Aldi. It's bloody Costco, you know. Once you get a pack, it's a pack for life. There's like 36 in there. They last. They're so useful. I tell you, I really like them. Products I like, I'm just going to tell you about, right? There's no sponsorship or anything going on there. It's just, I like it. Okay, so wash it dry again. Now, to prepare the coating, what you got to do basically, give them both a shake up, open up this packet, squirt this stuff, 6ml in there, 6ml in there, squirt that 6ml into that 6ml, shake it up, and then you're going to use this still to withdraw it out of there 2ml at a time and apply it to here, and that's what you're going to apply the coating with. And you're going to kind of go down, do the perimeter, just put it on evenly. So this is the part where we could stuff up because we need to put it on evenly. So basically what it says, you know, prepare, like I said, remove those, you know, read the instructions yourself. So the video is to give you an overview and to condense these instructions into words, right? You can see what it says, pull the liquid out there, put it on the gauze, bang, and then go around. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then it talks about a second application, right? Now it says, using it, withdraw 2ml. So I need to work out how to withdraw a little bit less, but we'll talk about withdrawing a bit more in a moment because we're not ready to withdraw yet. Okay, after 3 minutes, of drying time. So you've applied it 3 minutes, it says. And if it's cold, below 10, wait 10 minutes. So I'll just wait 10 minutes anyhow. We're not in a rush here, are we? We've got, this is the thing, and I said in the other video, I suspect it's got a use-by date. So once you mix it, you've got to use it within 6 hours. So you can't mix it and then do another car another day. So I've got both vehicles clean, ready to go to copper headlight coating. I'm just trying to explain all to you guys first before we go ahead and do anything. Now, it says 2 mil, correct? 2 mil. And it says 2 coats. So that means we're going to use 8 mil. All right. Now, are they allowing 2 mil for a big headlight or a little headlight? See what I mean? So there's a variable there. You might only need 1.5, you know? So, but there's 2 with 2 coats and 2 headlights equals 8 mil. And we've got 6 plus 6. So assuming I can get it all out, we've got 12, which means we've got 40% spare. So if we use a little bit less, so if we go 12 divided by, what have we got to do? 2 coats. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 headlights. So we've got to do 12 divided by 8. We're going to come up with what? What's that? 1.5. Quick mathematics without thinking too hard. So if I withdraw 1.5 mil, right, on this, because it's got the syringe there, see, 1.5, I might actually not do that. I might go 1.8 for the 120, right? I'll do a split. 1.8 for the 120 and 1.8 for the Hilux. Makes sense? We've got to have a bit of a comparison here on headlight size. There's not much difference, actually. So basically, we've got 3 mil per headlight, 2 coats. So I'm thinking even 1.3 mil for the Hilux and 1.7 for the Prado, right? So we've got 1.7 times 4, 1.3 times 4. All adds up to 12. And if I run short, well, what we do is we do a first coat on all the cars first, so the second coat's usually uses less, like painting, right? Look, if I get done trying to save another 44 bucks, that's my problem, right? I'll have to sort it out. And then I'll be able to tell you, don't do what I did. This happens sometimes, right? Don't do what I did. Do as I say, not as I do, you know, like stick with the 1KDs, don't buy one just because I'm the Prado Hilux specialist. Anyway, and then, okay, so there you go. After 3 minutes or 5 or 10, same thing, put a bit more, and it's still going to be wet, isn't it, right? Using the same gauze pad. Second application. So where do you use the other gauze pad? Hang on, what's going on? Then it must be, so did I miss something? Apply the headlight coating evenly, lens 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right, 1, 2, 3. 3 minutes, reply. I don't know, it says using the same one. So I don't know where you use the second one. I must have missed something. Anyway, I'm going to read it again and I'm going to get on with it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'll try and show you the headlights after I've done the first rough, what do they call it? Rough sandpaper, coarse sandpaper fine. So I'll show you after that. Then I'll show you what I can show you. First bit of important information, there was enough to go all the way around the 120 headlights except the bottom where the ARB bull bar is, and all the way around the Hilux headlights except for about 6 inches. So they're all marked up. So now we're taking the 2000 rough and wrapping it around the block like so, and we're going to wet it and polish the headlights. Rough polish. Oh, I heard everybody saying they want to see the action, right? Well, there it is, right? This is what we're doing. Anyway, I need another hand, so. Well, I can hear everyone asking, so how much do I rub? Well, the thing is, at the start, you see a lot of the yellowy stuff coming off, right? So now you're just left with the foggy from the sanding because you've roughed up the surface, okay? Which is what the next lighter polish is going to fix a little bit, and then the coating will fix the rest of it. It's not going to affect how your headlights work, and I'd argue the point that that even looks better than yellow headlights. But this isn't fixing the problem. This is just cleaning it off. I believe the coating is what's going to protect it, like a sunscreen that's probably going to last years. But I don't know because I haven't used it before. But I've heard that it's good, like I said in the other video when I promised you I was going to make this one. So how much? Just keep going until the yellow comes off, just lightly, nice and evenly. Take your time. It's not a rush. You've got all day if you want to take all day to do this. Carefully get it. You don't want to miss corners and then do it and then go, oh, you know, there's a yellow bit at the edge there. So take your time to do it properly. Passenger side as well. And maybe this was, if I'm not careful, I'm going to get too much reflection here and you're going to bloody see me on a Sunday. I've got my best t-shirt on and everything, don't you worry. But, you know, there's a bit, I don't know if we're going to get, I don't think we're going to get that out, the sun damage. It's the yellowing that we've got off. And look, I'm going to give both headlights a little bit more of a rub at this stage. And I'm going to do the Hilux as well. It's looking a lot better. But yeah, I think after this, look, there's something else that I learnt back in tech school, right? So once you've done this, you can use, once you've done this and then use the 6000, this is the 2000, at the 6000. You're not putting a protective coating on, but you can then use, my teacher taught me, toothpaste with a rag and just polish it up. It's really fine. It's how you get all your fine scratches out of the plastic on your dash cluster and stuff like that. It works really well. You can even use car polish, does the job. You can try different things. I've got headlight polish that I use on these. I've never sanded them before because I was a bit scared, but now that I know Toyota supply 2000 and 6000, after I've done this, I'll probably have a lot more confidence in using 2000 and 6000 and giving them a polish, and that'll last probably years even without a coating. But this coating, I've heard, is really good. So let's see. I'll do the same on the other headlights, just trying to give you maximum information. Anyway, I've only just finished polishing the rough and the fine, and as I said, you could use a polish or a toothpaste now to bring these up shiny, but that's not the protective coating that's supplied in this kit, and you'll just have to do it again later. Now, the other side, the driver's side on the 120, I gave it a sand with the rough twice and the passenger side 3 times. Not going too hard, just like I said, till most of that yellow, you see it coming off, it goes all yellowy and it runs off. After that, you're getting a lot more white, and I think you're there, but we're about to find out from this. I've probably spent 10 minutes on and off doing the rough and the smooth polish. I've just wiped them dry and clean, a couple of rinses out of the clean cloth. Make sure it's nice and clean. I'm just going to let it dry. You can see there's some dots of water there. I'm going to let that dry while I get the coating ready. And I'm going to put the coating on the 120 first to make sure it looks like I got enough before I do the Hilux. Worst case scenario with the Hilux, if I did this, I'd then just polish them up and I wouldn't have the coating for them. But we don't want sort of half a coating, do we? So you know what? Strike while the iron's hot. I'm going to go and sand the other headlights, because guess what? They're both getting done one way or another anyway. So bada bing. Okay, so at this point, probably 5 minutes sanding each headlight. 2 vehicles, 4 headlights, about 20 minutes. We've got a used, one on one car, one on the other car, instead of one on each headlight. This said use both headlights. Still looks in good condition after 4 headlights, 2 cars. Quite a bit of polishing with that one using this soft block, which I'll be keeping all of that, because on another headlight, I'm actually going to trial, even though this is a little bit worn, I'm going to reuse this on one car, use that to rough polish, fine polish, and then use some headlight polish and see how nice they come up. And we'll do a comparison. How long do they stay like that? Now, looks like they're pretty well dry. They're just foggy how they're my wet fingers, because, you know, make sure everything's clean. Clean car, clean me. All right, that'll be dry again in a second. You'll just see that set fading away. At this point, we haven't even opened up the mixers yet, but that's what we're about to do. We're just going to double check with the instructions again, make sure there's no other secrets there. We're going to do some calculations on the size of the headlight and how much of the, like I said, it says 6.2 mil there, and clearly it shows 6 mil in there, which equals about 12. So I believe that I'm going to try and be a bit tight on that 120 and use about, I don't know, 7 mil instead of 8. And then I'll have, what did I just wear? 6 plus 6 is 12. So I'll have about 5 left. Might be a thin coating on the Hilux, but thin's better than nothing, right? Let's see how far it goes. What would be really good is if they gave us a little bit more. 15 mil here. Let's go full syringe. There you go. If they gave us at least 12 mil, right? And then you could, if you had 2 or 3 or 4 Toyotas, whatever, you could get a few done. That'd be really good value. I think 44 is not bad, but that's the limit. But depending how good it works. If it works really well, and in 5 years I'm going, mate, that headlight coating's awesome, mine is still looking like new, then you know it's probably worth 110. Anyway, quick tip, Hilux headlights, I don't like waste, but you can get some of the genuine Hilux headlights really cheap, so you can just bloody replace them if they're that bad or broken, but the 120 headlights, very expensive. All right, I'm going to make these mixes up and use these applicators, which are still clean and dry. All the water's put away. Everything's clean, dry, floors mopped from all the water and all the mess. Now we're going to get this coating on. One other quick tip, I believe it's water-based, so clean it with water. If you make a mistake, you just clean it up. It says use within 6 hours there, so coating agent, right? Clean it up with water. I believe it's water-based. It says if you make a mistake, wipe it, so I've got my damp rag ready. But remember, that will waste fluid, so don't make any mistakes is my plan. So we remove the cap, which you can see here, and injected that into this one and shook it up. So the mix is ready to go, like mother's milk. Now, I just don't know why you wouldn't use one for the whole lot. So I think it's all part of the program. You think you need one for each headlight, then you can't do any more cars. But I reckon one is going to do all 4 headlights and many more if I had them and enough fluid. So I'm going to now apply this fluid to this using the syringe, as discussed earlier. And I'm going to put this one aside. I don't think we're ever going to use it. I've applied the first coat. I put 1 point, hang on, let me work that out later what I put, but look at that. It just looks beautiful already. Over to the other side. I'll show you how I'm injecting. I'll tell you how much in a minute. And I'm just holding it with one hand and gently kind of like painting it on. Let me see if I can coordinate myself here. This is my painting it up and down like that as I slowly inject it. I'm on the 4th headlight at the moment. I did it better every other time. This thing is soaked. You can definitely use less. Stay tuned. We've got plenty left for the second coat. Good stuff. First coat done on 4 headlights. Let's take a quick look at them. It does actually give them a bit of a blue tinge, but I think that's just till it dries. So now I'm going to give you some information, what I've learnt doing this the first time, and we've still got another coat to go. But I reckon I can see some debris in there. But anyway, it's all good because it's the old Hilux, happy days. But I believe it was all clean, but maybe there was some fluff. This is the 4th headlight, so we can just pop across this side. You can see the that was the 3rd one, so looking good. And I believe once it dries, that blueness probably clears up. On the Grandes, I reckon they've got a coating on the headlights and other stuff as well. This could be similar or just like that. It could be exactly that, who knows. But it certainly keeps the headlights looking good for a lot longer than the standard headlights. It says don't touch it, so I'm not touching it, but it's looking good to me, I tell you. I want to touch it, look at it. Beautiful compared to before. Why on earth they ever made headlights facing up to the sky, I don't know. I mean, the bloody thing, it should finish there and we shouldn't even be dealing with any of this styling. Doesn't even look good, does it? I don't think so. Anyway, I probably, looking at it again, I could probably have rubbed back a little bit more than I did, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, you know, being fussy here. So you want to be tight like me? Well, looking at the bottle, I reckon we've still got about half left. I'll let you know by the end of the video how it went, but I'll tell you what I did. For the first, you know, it said 2 mil. This thing would be absolutely soaked. I'll tell you, it's already got enough in it to do more, but we don't want to be too skimpy. So what I did, see the one, I went, this is how much I took for the first headlight. I'll show you in case I'm wrong. Hang on, let me just, I need to look what I'm doing for a minute. I went to 2 and then I put 0.2 back, didn't I? I went 1. So 1.6, that line there, I'm not quite on the line, but a little bit more, there we go, right on the line. 1.6, that's what I put on the pad first to do the first headlight. It was plenty. Then what I did, I went, well, it's already wet now, but it's a big 120 headlight. I think I went 1.6 again, okay, same again. Then I went to the Hilux, I went, this pad's wet. Why would I put that much and I've got a smaller headlight? So I put 1.4 for the 3rd headlight, okay? And then I did 1.4 again on the 4th one, and it's really wet, I've got to tell you. I'm not going to touch anything like that, but it is really wet. Now let's add that up. 1.6 and 1.4 is 3, and then 1.4 and 1.6 is 3 again. And that's all together. If I can do mathematics while I'm doing a video and showing you all these things, I reckon I've used 6 mil, but I don't think I reckon there's still at least 6 in there. So let's see. What I'm going to do this time, because it's already wet, I'm going to skimp down just to make sure I've got enough for all 4. And I'm probably going to only take about, I reckon it's going to be probably 1.2 or 1. I'll probably do 1 because like I said, it's wet already and you don't want to flood the headlights. So let's see how we go, eh? I'm going to give it probably another 5 minutes to dry. The blue color definitely goes away as it starts drying. I just want to go and touch it, but it says don't touch it for a week, so I'm not going to touch it. But I'm going to touch it with the next coat soon, so give it a few more minutes on this one. I'd say that's dry enough, but it doesn't hurt to let it dry a little bit more. It is, you know, they didn't want it done in low humidity, but, you know, it's humid. So because it's humid, it takes a bit longer for things to dry. So I'm going to give it the 10 minutes anyway, and we'll move across and 1 mil on each light, and we should have a little bit left over, and then we'll be able to confirm there's plenty there, the procedure's good, and there's enough to do 2 vehicles, so it's value for money. And if you've got small cars, like I'm just going to take a punt that Yaris's and Camrys and Corollas have got smaller headlights in general, you might even get 3 cars out of it, because I'm telling you, it was really wet. And obviously you just need to lightly coat it, and they talk about doing it evenly. you know what, I went around the perimeter and I just rubbed it around, and then you could see, you know, when you got something that's too wet and it left, so I sort of mopped it up a bit, and I mopped it up and I went, because the bottom corner you're going to see the least, so I finished, I went, you know, down and I finished in the bottom corner, and you know, you're not going to see anything. Look how good that is, beautiful. Some people think my videos are too long, but it's about being thorough so you haven't got any questions and you don't make any mistakes. So first application, it does actually say it should take 40 to 60 seconds, and I completely agree. It says 3 minutes drying time. It's been probably at least 5 or 6. Use the same gauze pad if the temperature is lower than 10 degrees. So that means using the same gauze pad, sorry. Yeah, same one, right? Same one, yeah. It's lower than 10 degrees, 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll check the temperature again, eh? Current workshop temperature, 16.5. Actually good working temperature, to be honest. It's quite a warm 16.5. Does that make sense? Don't you reckon in winter it's colder at 16 than it is in summer at 16? And just because I knew people were asking me to do it, I've sucked it all out. There's a dribble there. You could even pour that on and do another headlight, but I've got 6 mil here. As suspected, 6 point a little bit more, plus what's in there. And I reckon we only need 1 mil per headlight. I'm still going to do 1.5 because I've got it to use and it's just going to go to waste. So 1.5 is going to go on each headlight. And I'm going to work it around for 40 to 60 seconds, and then I'm going to leave the thing alone. If it's too wet, then I might reduce the dose rate. So stick around, don't go anywhere yet. And I'm pretty sure I could get 3 cars done, even with bigger headlights, but anybody should be able to get 3 cars done with smaller headlights. I'm impressed with the stuff so far. All right, let's get this last coat on. See what I mean? You can see the coating, it's really blue, it's really thick, but I put it on nice and even, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Happy days, another 1.5 for the next headlight. So in my opinion, certainly don't do it when it's hot, cold, windy or dusty. Because if it's windy, you're gonna have dust in the air and it's gonna stick to the coating before it dries. Because if you have a really close look, I can see, even though it's clean here, I don't know if it's dust or not enough rubbing, but there's some tiny little specks in the finish. I mean, good from far, but far from good is the saying, right? Nobody's looking that close. But what I'm saying is if it was dusty, you could get bits of hair, fluff, dust. So make sure everything's clean, take your time. If I was gonna do this for someone, yeah, we could probably do this, you know, us or the workshop partners, whoever's got some time. What would I charge? We've got the kit, a fair bit of time cleaning this and that. But, you know, it's not gonna be cheap. It's gonna be over 200, maybe less than 300, somewhere there, depending, you know, I suppose. Yeah, this was 2 cars. 1 car, 220 a car, there you go, 220. So if you're lazy and you want your headlights to look like new, you can do that for 220 a car. Or you can just do it yourself, because that's what I've just showed you how to do it. Hope you liked it. This one's still drying, that's why you can sort of see the bluey color still. This one was the last one done, so you can still see that bluey color. I decided to use it all up. It was really wet, it was too wet, you know, to be honest. So, you know, you could probably just go, instead of backing it down to 1.2, 1.4 mil, just go 1.5, 1.51, but it's just absolutely soaked. You could certainly get another car done. I reckon there's enough on this coating, certainly on all the headlights, to subtract some and put it onto another car with some small headlights. But that's all we needed. 2 cars done, happy days, awesome value for money, 22 bucks a car. And I believe this is going to last a long time. If you want to see how long it lasts, subscribe, turn the bell on, and we'll show you the headlights about every 6 months, or it might even be photos on our Facebook groups, so check those out. The photos of these Prado headlights, like now, will be on, if you're in Australia, Oz Prado crew, and on the Hilux, Oz Hilux crew. And if you're not in Australia and you want to see the results, 4x4 Diesel, same name as the YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I think that's about it. We're done and dusted. Don't have to rewind, you know, sometimes people miss things. There's the part number if you want to do this. So we've got 2 leftover coarse, which we could use again. The fine one we could use again, the block. This one we haven't even used. That one we rinsed out with water. We can confirm it is water-based. We rinsed out the syringe, so you score a syringe as well. We just want to know what the secret juice is in these 2 things, and we could bulk it up. Now, anybody in the chemical industry that might be able to know, or if we supply a kit that they can test it and work out what it is so that we can do it in bulk and get this stuff happening for about 10 bucks a kit. Anyway, Once again, thanks for watching. I think I've been comprehensive, including all the information you need. Keep it clean, take your time. It's really easy to do. You can't go wrong. Just take your time to mask it up neatly. Have some of your own masking tape as well if there's not enough. It just doesn't matter. Just cover it up. You don't want to be rubbing your paintwork with that wet and dry on the edges there, so make sure you cover it up. Keep it clean, keep it dry. Get those Costco Kirkland 36-pack of cloths. You'll love it. I'm telling you now, you'll love them. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Subscribe, turn the bell on, hit the like button. Bada bing. Catch you.